friends. Welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by to visit with me today and hang out here in the yarn room. We're going to talk about some yarn and work up some yarn and probably talk more about yarn. All that kind of good stuff. So I hope you're all having a great day. I'm actually headed to the doctor today. I have a doctor's visit. So I'm trying to get this video done and out before that so you can view this video while I'm at the doctor's office. And so that's what I am rushing around to do. Last night, Big Daddy and I did ride up to Target to pick up our other two prescriptions that were supposed to be ready. One of mine was, none of his was. So we each have one prescription to pick up. Mine was ready, so he got mine. His was not ready. So he's going to have to call before we drive back up there to see. Then we rode over and visited our son Elijah for a moment and saw his dogs, our grand dogs. Elijah has two dogs, and if you've been around, you've seen them in videos before. Ginger is a Border Collie Aussie mix. She is reddish brown and white. Real pretty dog. Very sweet dog. And then Django is a black Chiweenie. He is a long, skinny black dog. They were both so excited to see me. I mean, they were so excited to see me. It was so funny. But Django, he is like a little old man. I mean, he really is. And he was black. And now his whole head down the back of his neck and going onto his back is just gray. I was just like, oh, Django, you turned into a little old man. And I was telling him, stuff like the stress of living with Elijah gave him gray hair. Elijah was just laughing. But I was telling Django, like, oh, poor baby. He still went gray haired living with Elijah on his own. But poor little Django, he's so happy to see me. And then Ginger, she was very excited too. She jumped up in the truck with Big Daddy and she just sat up in the seat like, oh, y'all are here to rescue me and take me home. That's what I was telling Elijah she was saying. He was just laughing. But anyway, it was good to see Elijah and visit with him a minute and see his dogs. And then we rode over to our son Dakota's house, and I texted him and said, come go get some ice cream with us. And I didn't see any movement. There wasn't any lights on or anything. And so I waited a minute, and then I called and said, hey, what are you doing? Because he probably didn't see the text, if his phone was off somewhere else. He probably didn't see that. And so I called, and then I said, hey, what are you doing? And he said, I was thinking I need to run to Walmart to get some cat food. And I said, well, come on, we'll give you a ride. And he said, where y'all at? And I said, we're in your driveway. And he said, y'all are like stalkers. So he came out, and we went and got some ice cream at Sonic, and then we rode over to the little Walmart market, and he went in and got, not ice cream, he went in and got cat food for his cats. And so we visited with him for a little bit and took him back by his house and dropped him off. So it was good to see our boys and our grand dogs. I didn't go in and see Dakota's dog Windsor or his two cats, Monty and Oscar. I didn't go in to see them. I was wore out, ready to come home by then, I'll be honest. But an update on Dakota's dog Windsor. If you've missed the update, because I only gave it like one time and some people missed because they've asked about him, he had to have surgery on his eye about a month and a half ago, maybe now, probably about a month and a half ago. And he did lose vision in that eye. He can't see out of that eye, but he is doing fine. He runs around, plays with those cats. He just has to, he has to just like turn his head all the way, to see. He can't just look, it's obvious he can't see out of that eye. But he's running up and down the stairs and doing just fine. Dogs adapt. They do. And kids adapt. It's just adults that have trouble adapting. The younger you are, the easier it is to adapt. And, you know, anyway, it was just good to visit with them for a moment and see them. And then we came home and I crocheted. Yes, crocheted because that's what I do. So I'm getting ready to go to my doctor's visit at 9 a.m. this morning. I don't think my appointment will last too long. I mean, it should be quick, and it's at like one of the first appointments. So hopefully I'll get in and get out really fast because that's what I want. And get back home so Big Daddy can hot tail it on to work because he'll have an hour drive to get to work once he brings me back home and drops me off. So anyway, guys, so today I wanted to talk about a new yarn. Let me back that up. I don't think it's new on the market. It's a new to me yarn. I've seen this yarn at Hobby Lobby before and I've just passed it up. It wasn't like on my radar to get it at the time, and so I just passed it up. And so the day that I did decide to get this yarn, it was on the 30% off week, which is not this week. Probably next week at my store. It's not this week. My store is next week, and we have 30% off every other week. But when I bought this yarn, it was 30% off, and probably one of the reasons why I do pass it up a lot is because of the price. Because it is a $6.99 yarn, but then you take that 30% off, and it brings it on down a little bit. But anyway, the yarn is Yarn Bee Second Chance. I have never used this yarn before. It does feel soft. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's super soft. It's not like that, but it's soft. So I'll tell you about the yarn itself. This is 367 yards, which is 7 ounces, in case you want to know ounces. It's made in Turkey. The color name is Ivory, and it is a Hobby Lobby, house yarn. It's a 4-weight yarn. It is 60% acrylic and 40% recycled polyester. And I will be using a 6mm hook with it. So I'm doing this little project, and it's made with three new to me yarns. Monday, I put a new yarn in. It was the Yarn ID. That was my first time to use that yarn. Tuesday, I used Super Saver brushed yarn and added it to that project. That was my first time to use that yarn. Wednesday, the video was different. Today, it was a Whip Wednesday crochet. Today, on Thursday, I am adding this Second Chance yarn, which is for my first time to use this yarn. I'm adding it into that project. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And I hope that the yarn matches up with the other colors that I've chosen. It's 3 different colors, 3 different yarns, and I'm just making this one project, trying out these yarns and stuff with that. So I'm going to go to my desk and we're going to work up with this yarn, put some yarn of this into that project, and see how I like it and what I think about that yarn. Now you can tell me below if you've used the Second Chance yarn and what did you make with it. I am going to be putting it into this project that I'm working on. It is a soft yarn, but I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, it's so squishy, super soft. Then we'll see how it feels as I work it up. But let's go to my desk. Come on and join me, and we'll see what happens. Okay, friends, thank you for joining me at my desk. So I'm adding this Second Chance Yarn Bee yarn into this project that I have been working on this week. So I went ahead and got it started, and I'm just crocheting with it. I'm using a 6mm hook, and this is a 4-weight yarn. It is crocheting up just fine. I mean, it's not dragging or anything on my hook. It totally just feels fine, just like any other yarn. Nothing special. I wouldn't say it's like extra smooth or anything like that. It's just a normal yarn. And I'm just putting a granny stitch border around this project that I'm working on. Now, later, after I get my border all done, and I go back and add all the things to this that's supposed to be on this, I will be showing the project again, and, you know, telling what yarns I used and all that. But I do have the videos of where I gave a review of this yarn, which is Yarn ID, and this yarn, which is Red Heart Brushed yarn. So, and that's how the project is looking so far. So I'm just going around it today, adding a granny stitch border. I wouldn't say this yarn is anything special. It's not a bad yarn. It's a acrylic and polyester, a recycled acrylic and a recycled polyester. It seems soft enough. I mean, it's soft. I do believe it's softer than some of the other value yarns. I mean, I'm trying to think of what to say. It is soft. And I imagine once it's thrown in the dryer, sometimes when I finish projects, I like to just throw them straight in the dryer and run it for just a little bit. Not a whole cycle. Just let it heat up, you know. And they come out so soft and squishy and yummy. And I imagine this is going to feel really good once it comes out of the dryer. So I wanted to see what it feels like worked up, because sometimes yarns feel different off of the skein and worked up in stitches. They just feel a little different. So yeah, I just wanted to see what it did feel like. But it's working up just fine. It's not splitting. I think I'm crocheting a little too fast. I need to slow down because I'm losing my stitches off my hook, and that's me. I'll slow down. It's not splitting at all, anything like that. I don't have any complaints about the yarn. I don't think it's anything like... I wouldn't just rave about the yarn, honestly, because it's just too comparable to other yarns. Now, if I was going to Hobby Lobby to purchase yarn, I would pick the I Love This yarn over this, just because I like the I Love This yarn, and the price of I Love This yarn is a little cheaper. We all know yarn has went up. Unfortunately, just like everything else in the grocery stores and everywhere else, the prices have went up in lots of things, and so, but the I Love This yarn is still cheaper than this particular yarn, you know, even with the 30% off coupon. Well, no, it's not a coupon every other week. It's just on sale every other week. But I would probably still continue to choose I Love This yarn over this. Now, when this comes out of the dryer, it might be so yummy I say something different. Who knows? But my total review on it is it's okay. It's okay. It's not wonderful and it's not bad. It's a middle of the road acrylic yarn, but it is acrylic polyester blend, so it is a little softer than just straight acrylic yarn. So that is my review of this yarn. I give it a thumbs up because there's nothing bad about the yarn, but also I would still continue to pick I Love This yarn over this yarn. Now, I hadn't checked the yardage on a skein of I Love This yarn versus this. I did not check the yardage on that, so who knows? That might change my thoughts there. I don't know. I have no idea. But I wanted to try the yarn and see how it worked up and just give it a try because I'd never used it before. So there we go. And I do appreciate you coming and joining me at my desk. And now let's go back to the yarn room so I can say some final words. So I'll meet you back up in there in just 1 second. Hey guys, so I have added in some of the Yarn Bee Second Chance into my project here, and it's working up nicely and I think it looks good. I like the ivory color around this project. I will show the book and tell more about the whole project when I finish this, and plus I got to add things to the front of the project, so we'll get there. But so far I've added 3 rounds of, not all the way around. Not all the way around. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah. Okay, I've added 3 rounds on some of the sides. I think I have another side and a half to go. But I wanted to come back and, just give you a little update of how that's going. And then I'll be finishing, the rounds. I've got a good bit of this yarn left, so I don't know how many rounds I'm going to go on this. I'm just going to keep going until I feel like it's finished. And so while I don't think this yellow yarn is good for a baby yarn, this might be good for an older child, like a toddler child, a 3 or 4-year-old or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put probably a good bit of rounds around this just to make this bigger. I'm trying to see where my yarn, okay, it's over there. All right. So actually it's upside down right now. It's upside down, but I'll be showing you the finished blanket, when I get it done. But I do like that color around it, the Second Chance yarn in ivory. I do like that color as a border on this. Now I will say that Second Chance, while it feels nice enough, it does not feel as nice as this yarn ID, okay? That first yarn I used on Monday, this rose water, this yarn feels so yummy. This yarn feels okay. All right, that's my best review to give on that. If you were going to try one of these yarns, I would try this one right here. And that's the Yarn Bee Yarn ID. And that video was on Monday. This was Monday's video, this was Tuesday's video, and this one is Thursday's video. So, and I will come back and show the whole blanket completed and all that kind of jazz, as I get it done. There are some more things that go on here, obviously. And then I'm just going to continue to go around this, maybe through the rest of this week and the weekend, just depending on how much crochet time I get over the next few days, and to see when I can, get this completed and all. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm just going to keep going. Just keep going. Oh, I was thinking of, yes, here it is. I wanted to compare how many yards were in the Second Chance yarn versus I Love This Yarn. Okay, so I Love This Yarn is actually is 355 yards, so it's not that much of a difference. This Second Chance is 367 yards. Now, the I Love This Yarn, it feels softer to me than the Yarn Bee Second Chance. The I Love This Yarn does feel softer, so while it's an okay yarn, it would not be my first choice. But I would use it. But definitely this one would be my first choice. So if you get a chance, I would check out that yarn. If you're in Hobby Lobby, just walk over and look at the yarn and look for that Yarn Bee ID and give that a feel and see what you think about it. I'd love to hear that. All right, guys. I'm going to go because we got things to do. I got places to be. And I need to go and get all those things done and get us out the door. So, bye, friends. See you all later. Remember, it is a beautiful day to crochet.